today's video, I'm going to go through what 850k will buy you in the Brisbane region. In another video, I've actually gone through where I've taken the clients through the open homes, and I want to create a separate video with me actually going through the properties. But in this video, I just want to make it short and sweet. I want to run you through where we started, the areas that I look for this particular client, and then where we ended up. This is really valuable information if you're looking to buy your next investment property in the Brisbane region. You know, I spent over about 10 hours, last week going through all this information, getting it together for the client. So then when we got there on Saturday, we were very confident and we ended up securing a property for him. So let's jump onto the computer and let's go through some of this info. So before I jump into it, if you haven't met me yet, so I've been working as a buyer's agent for the last 4 years in the Brisbane area. I've helped purchase probably over 140 properties for both investors and families. And in these videos, I just want to share some of the information that I've been finding along the way. So last week I had this client that came to me. They currently live in Annerley and they were looking to buy their first home. They had a budget of above 850k, and the problem was that now townhouses in this area are above 900k, so they're priced out for townhouses. So we had to sit down and really do some research around what sort of houses can we buy where they can still catch a train to get into the Brisbane CBD and at the same time still have good access to Brisbane and the Gold Coast through highways. So through the research, we worked out that if you go down from Brisbane, you're going to end up in this part of the Ipswich region. And then if you go south, you're going to end up in, say, Marsden and Crestmead and these pockets. And pretty much we'll only get a 3-bedroom, 1-bath on this side of town. When we start to look at a heat map, you can really see how much, I'll move my head, but we're looking at these price points that are around that 1.3, 1.2. You can see most of Brisbane is above $1 million. So we're even seeing this for like townhouses in Mount Gravatt, and that are sort of going above 800 to 900k now. I just brought on a new brief. We're going to be looking for a townhouse in Springwood area for up to 650k, and we're most likely going to buy a 2-bedroom townhouse for them. And like me personally, just bought another townhouse investment property in Ipswich. What you find is now the houses are hitting above $1 million, 1.1 million. The units in the townhouses have been going pretty crazy in the Brisbane market, and they've been seeing massive leaps, like from 450k up to 500k, and even from like 450k to 550k in less than 2 to 3 months, which is, more than 30% capital growth. So those are really hot at the moment, but we'll stick to the houses for now. So we started at Brisbane and we worked our way down, and pretty much once we got to Rockley is very flood affected, but once we got, and so was Oxley, once we got to Richlands, it was getting pretty tough. It's around the 900k is going to get you a 4-bed 2-bath, and Inala, I just seen a 3-bed 2-bath sale for 770. So you can get like an older style house in Inala, which is pretty good value for money. But what you will find is that it's an older house. You're getting 600 square meters of land. So I reckon that's great from an investment point of view. But this family wanted 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and, preferably they wanted to have 2 living spaces as well. So they just weren't going to get that in Inala, but just wanted to outline Inala is only like 20 k's from the Brisbane CBD, and you can still buy in under 800k. So we made our way down and we sort of came across Allen Grove, Forest Lake and Springfield Lakes area. So the Springfield Lakes area has been coming up quite a lot when I've been talking to families that live in the city, that now are wanting to move into a home because most of the time they're renting. So they've now got the deposit ready, they've got the approval, and approval's 900k or $1 million, but it's just doesn't get you much in the city. So we're traveling out, and and Springfield Lakes, Spring Mountain are very good hotspots at the moment. So with Springfield Lakes, sort of broken into really three sections. You've got Springfield, which is the older part of Springfield. You can get a 4-bedroom, 2-bath for about 800, maybe 850k, and then Springfield Lakes is a bit newer. You know, houses built between 2010 to 2015, and they're more between 850 to 900. And then you've got Spring Mountain, which is now just going insane. To get it, you're looking at like a 4-bed, 2-bath on like 300 square meters, and spending around 880 to 900 for the smaller blocks. At 850 over here, you're getting 450 square meters. But the beauty about Springfield Lakes, even though it's pretty far away, is it's got the train line, which was very important for these clients. And now, like a lot of people still work in the city, so you know these train lines are becoming very important. Most of the train lines south of the river are pretty well documented. Oh wait, I'll see if I can find this. Yeah, so you can just Google it, and this gives you like these really good maps, which helps me when I'm working with clients. But you can see this line here. Goes to Richlands, Springfield Centre, Springfield Lakes, and then you've got this other line on the other side. But essentially, you know, you could jump on these lines and you could swap over and get into Toowong, Milton. There's the Indooroopilly school that a lot of the top schools are within Brisbane. So having these train lines are very important for a lot of the families that I'm helping. But yeah, you can pretty much, you know, use this as a map. This is a cross river rail. So instead of having to go around, they're going to go under the river. So this is going to take them straight into Roma Street. I'm not too sure if this is what's going to get built. I don't think that's in yet. I'm pretty sure you have to go down here and then you got to catch a bus to get around there at the moment. But thought I'd just share that because now what I'm finding when I'm looking for investment properties, train lines are starting to become very important. Congestion's starting to happen. So on the south side down here in Logan, you've got a train line in Kingston and Woodridge, which weren't really the greatest areas, but I don't know, I still haven't bought a property for a client in these areas, but they're starting to really creep up. 3-bed 1-baths are going for about 700k. Yeah, but the great in a sense that you've got the train lines and you're next to the highway, but just if you're going to be buying in these areas, just make sure you don't overpay on it. I'm just seeing people spend like 800, 900k in these suburbs, and it's just way too much. So I'm going to finish up this video with the 3 areas that we ended up buying in. So the 3 properties that I ended up showing them. So we scanned through all of these options, and you can see Richlands, 850. We even went down on Logan, but just logistically, it was much easier to go down towards the Forest Lake side. Even started looking at townhouses, but it wasn't too great. And then, so we this was option number 1, which if you watch the other video that I'm going to put out, it's I have a video walkthrough with me taking the clients through. But this one was great from a price point of view, but there was a highway that was right next to it and you can hear it quite clearly. So I put the clients off on this property, but it was pretty much 200 square meters. What you find, a lot of these houses around there are around 180 square meters. Still quite big, so like it's always worth actually going and having an inspection. And then we went to this property as well. It looks nice, but it was so small. You can see how tiny it is. On 348 square meters, I felt really cramped. So client didn't like that one. And then we ended up meeting halfway, and we managed to get this property under contract for them. And Yes, it had been sitting on the market for a couple of weeks, but because we'd done our research, which you can see, there's so many properties that we went through. We spent hours. We knew the actual value of this property, and we got it for a good price. It's built in 2019. 2 living spaces. Nice quiet pocket. There's not many sales in the suburb. Like over the last 6 months, there has only been 3 4-bed 2 baths that have sold there, so it's super quiet. So there wasn't really the comparables, but I just knew, looking at around to other suburbs and what was going on, that we were getting a good deal. Pretty much just on the other side, the same house in Forest Lake is going for about 900k. So I think this is a very good little pocket. I've seen some 3-bedroom 1 bath sell for in the 600s. So good opportunities there to buy in under 700k potentially. But if you go down the side, it's going to be Crestmead and Marsden. These areas are going to go from, they're right about 780 now. I reckon they're going to go to 850. You can't get along there, but you also got Eagleby. It's got potential to go to 850 as well. And this side's already like 4-bed 2 baths are in the 900s, so that's already passed. So that wraps up on my video. If you like this information, like and subscribe. Or if you're looking to buy a property in the Brisbane region, feel free to reach out on my website.